Hello, Thomas. Nice to see
Hello,
you.
Alex. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, good. Welcome to America.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you every year. You're becoming a fixture here. That means you come all the time. Yes.
Yeah. And how is your show?
The show has been very, very good. We sold more expensive things than low price things.
Oh, really?
But that's easier. I like to have to count more money than less money. So it's good.
Okay. It was good one, late production, Damascus Blade SA Chain Dagger. But we can look several more.
Yes, I could show you some
Yes,
if you like.
Could you explain about SS Damascus Blade? Because it's very interesting theme. Not a lot, only two on the show we can see.
Very rare. We show you the dagger. We can maybe put it on this table next door here. This is an SS Honor dagger, and we feel that maybe 30, maybe 40 of them were produced during the period. Extremely rare, and they come with silver-plated cross guards with a oak leaf and acorn motif. Very beautiful. The jewelers in the Acorn factory, they enhanced the oak leaves and the acorns with tools so that it would give them lots of detail. So they're very, very beautiful, and the cross guards will be numbered inside, and then
under the
on the inside of the cross guard. And then the grips are made of ebony, and the eagle is the same as any eagle except it's silver plated on these honor daggers.
That's not regular handle. It's a special type of eagle for
special
honor
eagle.
daggers.
That's right. And then the runes button, the SS runes button, is the same as you would see in any other dagger. And then the blade is made of hand-forged damask. Very beautiful. Every pattern will be different because they're made by hand. When we say Damascus, we're talking about layers and layers of metal that are hammered and folded and rehammered, and it might take a man 2 weeks to make a blade like that. And then on the reverse of it, you can see the pattern in the damask lines. It's very, very beautiful.
Okay.
And then the trademark of the Acorn firm, this mark comes from the period of 1933 through 1935. So this was made fairly early on in the Third Reich time.
And then was a stamp without double oval.
Yeah.
They're
double. It's a double oval, but it's a small. We call it the small trademark.
Yeah.
So that's how they look, and we can show you if it's loose. Yeah. We show you the important things about these honor daggers.
Because that is very important what we can see inside.
You have to see inside.
Yes.
Now with cross guards on honor daggers, they will have a little number inside. I don't know whether you can see it with your camera. Maybe if it's close.
328.
328.
I think if we put here.
Yeah, 328 is correct.
Yeah, that's 328.
328.
And is there a number on the wood?
Yes.
Is there any numbers?
Yes, there usually will be a number on one of these sides. I don't know whether you can see it. Not always, but no, not on that one.
Not on that one.
Well, the cross guards are matching numbers, and
3 to 8 also.
Yeah. And what you want to see is the numbers are very small the way they're made. And you never want to see any silver marks on them. Reproductions many times have silver marks.
Okay.
And something that I've seen with Honor cross guards, the tops of these parts here are not finished very well. And you want to see that on Honor daggers. If these are finished too well, it's maybe you should look again. Could be trouble.
Okay.
And also,
it's like a red flag.
yeah, it's like a red flag. And also, the blades on the early pieces will always have D-A-M-A-S-T stamped into them.
Damast.
Damast. And usually they'll have a number. Yes, this has a number also. Sometimes they'll match the cross guards, but not usually. 328.
382.
382 is the tang. Yeah.
Yeah. 382.
And then with
Maybe somebody mix.
yeah. It's just that's the way they were done. And then with the scabbards, the fittings have this border that's cut into them, and then factory darkened in the background to make it stand out. And the scabbard shell was covered with leather. This piece, the leather was recovered. It was done about 25 years ago.
Okay.
And I know that because we did the work for this 25 years ago.
Okay.
But we used the same leather that was done during the period, so it's impossible to tell anyhow. So,
Yeah.
Also the screws that are used, they are silver plated too. And if you see screws that aren't silver plated, sometimes that's a red flag to look for other trouble.
Yeah. Okay.
And you would want to see an early style hanger, which is
Is a
an
nickel
old
silver.
nickel, and we call these a snout nosed, meaning a pointy nosed clip.
Okay.
You know. So that's what you want to look for, and when you're spending upwards of $100,000 for a dagger, you want to make sure that you have something that's completely original.
Sure.
So you can't just go like a sailor that's drunk and buy things if you don't know anything about them, because it's very important that these daggers all meet the criteria that's been established over the years that we've been collecting these things. Let me put this back
Yes, yes.
together so somebody doesn't steal my
Okay. Yes.
cross
Sure.
guard.
Thomas, and I would ask a couple more other pieces on your display.
Yes, we'd be glad to show them to you.
I'd like marine daggers.
Yeah.
Because my father was marine, my grandfather was marine, so I would like to ask you about two marine daggers. This one I'd like because it's really huge,
Yeah.
and this one is quite rare.
Very rare. Well, this dagger, it's called a heavy Navy dagger because it's so huge. It's a dagger that could have been purchased by anyone in the Navy as long as you were an officer. A lot of people think that, oh, this must be an admiral's dagger because it's so big. But it just had to do with the size of your pocketbook.
Okay.
You see? And they have beautiful fittings with a real ivory grip, genuine ivory grip, and a open finial imperial crown, beautiful workmanship in them. And they're equipped with a handmade Damascus blade. This particular piece was made by the WKC firm. They were very large producers at that time. It's beautiful on both sides. They're
It's really beautiful.
they're
And there is no button. There is just a spring for to fix.
Yeah, this spring mechanism, they only used that up until about 1900, and then they changed to a push button type. So with that type of lock, you can date the time that the dagger was made, and also by the trademark, This is the old WKC trademark used up until the turn of the last century, and it features a knight's head and a king that are next to each other.
Yeah.
And then the trademark was changed later on.
It's
But
interesting.
very beautiful blade, and then the scabbard is nice, and it has figure-8 knots. We call the scabbard bands because they look like knots.
A lot of gilding here.
A lot of gilding, yeah. And then they have the usual palmettes next to the knots, palmettes, and then what we call ermine feet.
Yeah.
And these are acanthus leaves. Yeah. Normal naval motif.
Motif, yeah.
Yeah. So that's that dagger.
Yeah, and a huge dagger
Yeah.
should have huge
For the
portapee.
portapee. Yeah.
Yeah.
The portapee is almost the size of a sword portapee. Yeah.
And how much is it?
I'm asking 22,000 on this dagger. It's very rare. You don't see many at all.
Yeah.
Because you needed to be a rich person to afford one, so you don't see many. You need to be a rich person to afford one now, too.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
It's true.
And the piece next to it here, these daggers are called by the collector community Puma Assault. That's just a name that was made up. In actuality, in reality, these daggers were a new design for a standard naval dagger that was produced by Puma. And in the 1939 Puma catalog, they show this dagger as a standard naval officer. But what happened in 1939, which we all know, the war started, and Puma only made a few of these because of the wartime. There was no big production at that point. So as a result, we see very, very few of these daggers.
And I would like to show a difference between regular dagger you can see on the crossguard.
The crossguard is the big difference. The eagle in the center and the quill in arms. They also had a pommel that was more ball-shaped. But the man that owned this dagger had a regular Nazi pommel put onto it, and we see that sometimes. They also have the Puma mark on the ricasso, and the blades are always plain. If you see an etched blade, better look, something wrong.
That's interesting information.
Yeah.
And you have the same on your book?
Yeah, oh yeah. In my book, you can read all of these things, and also the scabbards. This scabbard is hammered, but you will also see engraved scabbards. But the bands are what the bands look like army bands, except they're gilded. And one of the things you can look for, the screws are always these flatter head kind, different from regular naval screws, which are more dome head. So if you see dome head screws there, better look a little more. Could be trouble, you know?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? How a standard naval screw is dome head and these are flat. Very, very important detail. There's a lot of things about this dagger that I could explain, but it gets so minute that it's too hard to understand. But
it's more important and easy to see.
Yeah, that's right.
That's okay.
But there's other things too that I keep a secret. Only I know.
And how much is this dagger?
This dagger we're asking 16,000 for. Yeah. And it's the only one at the show.
Yes,
it might be the only one for sale in the world right now. So
that's really only one here on the show.
Yeah. So
it's very interesting. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thomas, there is a good piece on your table. This is Railway Eagle. Did it come in this box?
Yes.
Is there any?
This Railway Eagle was put in this box by the veteran that brought it home. I mean, there are lots more prettier boxes, but it becomes beautiful to us when we know the history like it is, you know? It's very unique. The box too, if you look on this side of it, the veteran had a little fire in his house, and the box got burnt. But thank goodness the Eagle is still okay.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the 24-inch model, and you also see them in 27-inch model.
Yeah. And now you can see on your screens original picture of the same size eagle. And there is two letters under this eagle. It means Deutsche Reichsbahn.
Deutsches Reichsbahn, German railway system. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting thing because it's really historical. It has a war story. It's special war story.
It has a war story attached to it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be as interesting if it wasn't in the veteran's original frame, you know?
Yes.
And I never took it out of the frame, so I don't know what's on back of it. But I know it's original, so I don't need to take it out of the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.